This is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show on a night where the head coach was not behind the bench for the Rangers, and most of the Rangers' offensive mojo was missing in action as well. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios, everyone. John Giannone alongside Steve Valiquette. 3-1 the final, the Kings over the Rangers, and this was in a way reminiscent of what we saw Thursday night in Las Vegas, another night which the Rangers were limited to only one goal, in that it just looked really difficult and really cumbersome for the Rangers to gain the zone and do much of anything when they were there.
I think it was very difficult for them to get their forecheck going, and that was noticeable. And look, even when you look at the two goals that LA did score before the empty netter, both were really starting from a light forecheck from the Rangers. The first one is actually everyone just goes right through the forecheck, and on the second one, it was a neutral zone regroup that started after a missed forecheck. That's part of it, but part of this responsibility, it falls on the defenseman as well, because I can't really say after the first period, early on when there was a few rush chances, did the D get it into the hands of the forwards with precise passing to get them through the neutral zone and then get to work? Now, they were still able to make a game of it, and that's important because you've got to get confidence to believe that you can always be in a hockey game. The Rangers have been resilient all year long. They've found ways to keep themselves in games. It's too bad they don't get something at 6-on-5. Brodzinski has an opportunity there. You know, it's almost like a Hail Mary at the end of that game. On the bright side, that's only the Rangers' 10th regulation loss, and that was game 37. Right. So just simmer down and enjoy what kind of a ride this team has been on, because it's been a ride, and this team's going to rebuild that confidence again going into San Jose, and I'm sure they'll be okay. It wasn't their best effort tonight, but I thought at points they did have some stretches of good play.
They've done well this year, rallying from games in which they were outplayed, and clearly that was the case tonight. The numbers that stand out: 39-23 shots on goal, 67-42 shot attempts. Yet through that all, it was no score early second period. Then less than a minute into the second period, the Kings were able to score off of a Ranger giveaway.
Yeah, and look, again, it starts with the forecheck that wasn't really on. And I think that when you see a team get disconnected on a forecheck, it's typically because you're not seeing everybody come up the ice together. And there's not that support. And that's why there's, again, the giveaway happens, and that was not Miller's best stuff. He didn't have a great night. Neither did Tenorti or Nemeth. And you have 3 of your 6 not going, and it's a tough one. Georgiev was good. Georgiev gave the team a chance to win. Benoit Allaire says that all the time. Just give the team a chance to win, and we'll live with what happens in the end. It was that kind of an effort for him. He did his work, but again, in the end, it's a tough one to watch because. Yeah. Just the Rangers were a step behind most of the night.
Yeah, and that's how it looked as well. So less than 3 minutes later, after Danault scored his 7th of the season, the deficit doubled for the Rangers. And again, it was a loose puck in front in which the Kings were the team that was more opportunistic and Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, and I think that when we look back at this game, we're going to say that the Rangers need to clean stuff up in front of their net, too. There was a lot of loose play that sometimes found its way back into the play, too, off Georgiev. And that was also part of the reason why a rebound like this one comes from the dead angle off of a backhand, because I thought Georgiev was looking for a bigger play there that he had to make and left early. And the important thing here for a goaltender is to stay on the puck and not try and anticipate what might happen. That one comes loose off of his glove, and it's very difficult for everybody to recalibrate and find the loose puck. But again, that was also moreover what we saw most of the second period, where by and large the Rangers got outplayed badly.
That goal was scored by Blake Lizotte. Trevor Moore assisted on both of those. So the Rangers went to the third period with only 15 shots on goal against Cal Peterson. And then with about 8.5 minutes left in the game, it was Mika Zibanejad who, since December 15th, leads the entire NHL with 8 goals. He scored his 8th in the last 9 and cut the deficit back to 1.
If you took a close look at Mika on the bench tonight, you could see his face was furnace red. He was out there working. He was making everything happen that he could. And with Ryan Strome as well, had a lot of scoring opportunities. But just being able to have the support on the half wall here, you saw moments in the third period where the team had that support, and that's why they were able to get the puck, recover it back, and then stay on it. And I thought there was at least the pushback that you hope the Rangers would have in the third period that you want to see in the playoffs. And this is what it looks like. You're late, you're trailing, you want to get close, you want to make a game of it. And the Rangers did recover the puck several times on this shift just to be able to get into a position to shoot and have an opportunity to score. Hedl makes the play at the net here off of the recovered puck, and Zibanejad makes a nice deflection. I thought he worked all night long. He was one of the few guys that did stand out, and he was noticeable out there. So he's one of the leaders, and you want to see that from him on a night where most of the players didn't have their best stuff.
Yeah, Zibanejad with his 13th. It was Hedl and McKegg with the assists, and that's ultimately how it would end for the Rangers. An empty net goal by Adrian Kempe made it 3-1. So that was the final in Los Angeles, 3-1. Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show has plenty more to come, and we will be back in a moment. Rangers fall to defeat for the second time in 3 games on this 5-game road trip. Back with more in a moment.